Well, hello there, and welcome to TerraTech. It is I, Michael Max, and today I'm going to do something a little different than what we normally do. I'm going to get a little more comfortable. I'm going to settle myself down and maybe we'll turn the volume up just a little bit. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Check 1 2. Yep, nice. Today we're going to talk about TerraTech. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk. I'm going to pull the music down just a touch to there. How about that? You can hear it in the background? Yeah, good. We're going to talk about TerraTech, and for us to because while we're waiting for the patch, so I figured to know about where it's going to go, let's go back to where it came from. So here we are. TerraTech was a Kickstarter. It started out with I don't know. It was a small group of guys, like 6 or 7, maybe even less. Guys, they decided that they wanted to get involved, make a game, and so they got like £40,000. £40,000 is a lot. That's pretty good. And with that money, they started up, and they said that they were going to build three groups. So we had the GSO, the Geocore, and the Venture groups. I can remember when it was just GSO and Geocore, and Venture hadn't really. There wasn't a lot. I can't remember if Venture came after I did or not. I came in about a year late. I really wish I had been a part of the Kickstarter and seen a part of the Kickstarter. I totally would have Kickstarted, but I didn't. So whatever. So yeah, you can read this. This is all material that I pulled from the wiki and from the forums and from online pictures, and these are concept drawings. I love the concept drawings. I love the artist. He produced so much really cool stuff for you to look at, to see where it was in their minds before we actually got there. So yeah, let's talk about GSO, the Galactic Survey Organization. So the GSO. It's like, I mean, and I see here that they're talking about the Eastern Russian bloc and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's your like starter group that you would sell as fast as you can. It's your first car that will make it to where it needs to go, but you don't really want to drive in it forever. It's not comfortable, it's not glamorous, but it will get you there in the end. And I don't know if that's really held true. I think that's changed a lot from when we first started. It was like the only thing, and now you still use a lot of the gray parts. There's a lot of really good gray parts that you can't get anywhere else, and quite frankly, manufacturing, you don't do anything without the manufacturing of the gray groups, and that's changing, and they've added, but I don't think you could start and play the game right now just as one faction or the other. And I think that they were hoping that you would get there originally that you could start as any group. But now it's definitely you need your grays. The Geocore, they're the Tonka trucks. They're the hardcore, the big, the nasty. They are the minor 49ers. They will get you as much resources as fast as you can. I see that we've just finally about to add some boosters for them to make them faster, because they are a slower, big ponderous. But if you're going to make walls, they're heavy duty. They cover lots of ground fast. So I'm excited about that. And we'll see where it goes. The venture group. The Venture group is all about speed and looking good. They flight is a big part of them. Scouting, getting a good idea of what is on the map and where you're going to want to go next. Couldn't do it without Venture. And as Venture has evolved and changed, I think, especially with the missions and Susie Vroom, I think we're seeing a lot of stuff that I don't think was in their minds when they started. I think it has evolved into its own thing, and I like it. I like where Venture's gone. When you first played the game about a year ago, you needed Venture because they were the only wheels that got you where you needed to go. Like, they were fast, and now, like, you can do so much with the diversity of wheels that they have and flight. That definitely definitely people are going to prefer Venture in the end. I think Venture is one of the more powerful units right now, even though their weapons need to catch up, and the weapons are catching up. The next patch, 8.0, will bring the Venture missiles to the fore in the new missile group, and that you will, I think you guys, you're in for a real treat if you haven't played with them in multiplayer yet. And I also think multiplayer Venture has, I think they have a advantage in the speed, in the movement around the map. They will get you to new blocks faster than the other groups, but their armor is low. So Hawkeye came about a little while ago. It was their new group. And yeah, like think mercenaries, think stealth fighters, think I like to think of Hawkeye as the battle group from Aliens the movie. Like those guys, those mercs, their dropship, that's pretty much right out of the Hawkeye handbook. They are armored, a little bit slow, a little bit fast. They got flight capabilities. They're the helicopters. They're like the rolling blue thunders. Like they have missiles, big, heavy missiles. So Hawkeye is going to be very, very popular with people who want to hit first and talk later. I think I like the Hawkeye stuff, and it's a race to get to the Hawkeye stuff, especially the missiles, because they're a fire and forget weapon. You just go to town, and as soon as you get a critical mass of enough of them, you are pretty hard to beat, especially from a distance. The game becomes pretty broken in its unbalanced nature because of Hawkeye, and as soon as countermeasures for missiles come out, that will balance that all out. And I know they have to be thinking about that in some way. They will be. And if not, well, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Who knows? I don't have any insights. This is just from what I've been reading and looking at. So what's next? And this, well, what you see here is skins, and it was one of their Kickstarter promises that if they got enough, they would do a skinning thing. And I don't know how this is going to work. Like, I can't think of how this is going to work, except for maybe when you get to a certain level in whatever faction you're in. And this could be how it's done. You get to level 5 or level 6 of GSO. And there you are. What benefit does it give you? Because you've learned all the pieces in level 5. Level 6 maybe have specialty pieces, but maybe it gives you the ability to form an offshoot of that corporation with your own style. And so at that point, maybe you gain a pop-up menu that you pick your color and backup color. Like you can see black and gold, or red and white, or, gray and red, like black and red, whatever. And suddenly all the pieces in your inventory will become that color. And then if you buy any other pieces, as soon as they are gathered and put into your inventory, Bob's your uncle, it's your color. And I thought that we would see it in multiplayer. I honestly thought that in multiplayer, when you pick your color in multiplayer, that maybe that would in fact inform your blocks what shading they would need. And that would make so much sense. And then it would be great. I think it would be fabulous if that was what they were going to do. So in multiplayer, I kill you, I'm white and red up here, and I kill you and you have a bunch of gold stuff. Well, I take your pieces and start using them, and so everyone on the map can see that I owned you. I think that would work. I think it would be really funny. I think people would really get excited about that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that's somewhere where we would go with it? How about new corpse? What do you think of that? Now, for those of you who haven't been to the wiki and haven't looked in on any of this stuff, this is what excites a lot of us. We have been waiting. When Hawkeye came out, we were so afraid that was the last corp, but there's drawings out there. There's information out there. There's stuff that they've done, concept stuff of these new corps, and I want to go through a little bit of some of the information that's been gleaned anyway, and thank you for everyone who's put in all of the time onto the wiki for this stuff, because this stuff is gold, man. This space junkers, obviously, hard to kind of justify where in the game that would work, why it would work, but if you're thinking of doing a multiplayer version where you and your buddies are lining up to play and it's first to 10 million, and that's like 10 million bucks, first 10 million bucks, you could take the junkers because their parts are cheaper, their upkeep is cheaper to repair or whatever, or maybe, you know, like their stuff is, the bang for the buck on the stuff is way, way better. So you could get to mining faster or whatever, or that's what I'm thinking, that could perceptibly be that way, or that they just can take a total beating. Maybe they're just armored up, and that's just because there's so many parts that just layered and layered and layered. I don't know. Anyway, that's my thought to it. Maybe they aren't affected by missiles, or they just explode in a pile of dust and junk and you just walk away. I don't know. The Better Future Clan, I think they could come up with a better name of this, but I like the idea. I like the idea of a sleek, medicinal, like you can almost smell that antiseptic in their cockpits, like they use gravity weapons and like anti-grav wheel systems, and like I'm really thinking that this could be a neat idea that they'll play around with, and maybe they're not a mining corp at all. Maybe they're a like into super green stuff, so they're a replanting faction, or they're a drone faction that's there to look after protected zones, and if a zone is protected and you encroach upon that, out they come, and they're like a Greenpeace organization of some sort, and maybe you can't play them, and maybe, you know, who knows what they were thinking when they thought of this, or if it was just them spitballing for a better future. I don't know. The Reticule Research Group, I'm torn by this group. I like the idea, and if you look at the picture really carefully, you can see like one blocks with like 4 wheels on it. Like I think this is like 1, 2, 3, 4 on it. Like you can make, it's a really neat idea, especially if this is like 1 block and that's 2 wheels that stick out of it. Like kind of cool. I see boosters coming out the back, and then like, is that like a black hole mining device of some sort, or what? Like a concrete mixer of some sort, or maybe that's an energon net. Who knows? Like I love the idea that there would be a group that does things in a crazy different kind of way, like anti-grav flying, or you know, like play around with the black hole stuff, which I mean we got for GSO, we got the storage unit, and I think that's probably one of the reticule like ideas, like that whole process would have been something that probably should have been only theirs, or somewhere around that line. I can imagine that they would be, yeah, I like the idea of evil geniuses and what they can do with the different technologies. I see them as having a lot of countermeasures, like knock planes out of the air, definitely push vehicles around, maybe take over AIs, like that kind of stuff. I think that would be really, really interesting. The Legion of Doom. The Legion. I don't know how they would ever create a Zerg like I'm thinking Matrix. I'm like the Matrix, those the squiddies sort of dealio. I don't. This is the worst music ever for this. We should be having something doomy like for the Legion. But to think about an insectoid in the maps, that would work really great. Anything with legs and slithers, like that would be very, very cool. It would be very neat to see hordes and hordes of ant-like creatures coming up over a hill where, you throw a missile into the middle of them and you might get 5, but there's still 50 coming. Like that kind of thing. It's hard to target them. All of those things. Really, really, I love the idea of waves and waves of little AIs coming at you. And then at the back of them, a great big scorpion thing that just like slams down with its tail and pins you to the ground. Like, who knows, like pincher claws that like rip your wheels off or parts off if you get too close to them. Like, there's some really great ideas for how Legion could go about changing the game. And absolutely, I don't know how they would make it multiplayerable or playerable at all. Like it seems to me like a perfect AI based corp, but I guess if you want to be like a hive mind and you're the queen and you just keep making other techs to go do stuff for you, that works. It works well. And I'm really hoping that that's something that we see, that's not a 2.0 thing, that's a 1.0 thing. But I'm not going to hold my breath for it. It's we ask a lot of the devs, but it's because they've given us so much, and like they throw stuff out there like this. And how are we supposed to not want more and like it? It's because it's so good that we want and invest, quite frankly, invest quite a bit into it. And yeah. So I want to thank the TerraTech forums. Let's talk about it. If you haven't gone there yet, or if you're not a member, I mean, I think we have something like 12,362 members. I see it there. Yeah, and we talk about everything from bugs to what could be to whatever. And if you need help, there's so many good people on there who will help you right away and answer your questions and do all those sorts of things. So hit the forums if you like, become a member of the community and see what you can see. There's lots of really cool things to watch, and people throwing up their text and stuff. It's really great. The wiki, whoever put time into making that wiki, you guys are awesome. I got almost all of this from there, and this video would not have happened without it. And quite frankly, I don't think I would know as much about the game or enjoy as much about the game without it. I think the wiki stands to get some major overhauls and it needs more help. But if you are the kind of person that digs wikis and digs TerraTech, get in there and start helping out. It's a magical place. And I just wanted to say, I'm Michael Max, and this is TerraTech. 0.7.9 is the current version that everyone's playing. 8.0 is due any day now, and that'll be the combination of multiplayer and single player in one bootable, one executable, and hopefully executable. Hopefully we will do another Let's Talk if you guys like this. If you give it a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe if you have not already, let me know that you did like this and that you would like to see more, and maybe some topics that you would like to talk about or ask questions about that I could do another episode. And I'd like to do one of these a month, or one of these maybe every update, major updates. So this will be my 0.7.9, and after I've played 0.8 for a while, I'll do that again, or maybe every key point. But I'm Michael Max, and I play TerraTech every day on the internet. Usually every day. I haven't missed a day in a long time. I come out at 8 a.m. Pacific time for the most part. I try my best. But I will see you all hopefully on the forums or in the next episode. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see ya. Bye now.